Welcome to OGGR, Old Guys Geekly Review. This is going to be an episode for episode 23. We're going to be covering the last part of December here. This episode is going to be a little different because we are without my good buddy Nick. It is very, very cold here, negative 17 degrees currently, going to get even colder. People are fighting the flu, but we didn't want to leave you all without any content for several weeks at a time. And saying that, we're also going to look at doing these smaller episodes, maybe on a couple of days basis, daily basis, giving you a little bit more content, regular stuff. These mini episodes will probably be shorter, so hopefully look forward to a couple of those in the future. But we've got episode 23, may or may not be the last episode for the year, but we're going to talk about what's going on. And we'll see. Without my good buddy Nick, this might be a little bit shorter, but we're going to try to cover everything that we possibly can that's gone over the last couple of weeks and to give you the lowdown. So it might be spoilers if you haven't seen some of these things, so be aware of that. Now, in the box office, we have Avatar, of course. And Avatar is either succeeding or failing based on who you ask. I mean, people are all over the place on this one as far as whether or not this is a success or a failure. It's got to break a crazy amount of money apparently to break even. Cameron has shot a lot of content for movie 3 and 4 as well as this one. So we may get those based on how well it's done. Well, really probably depends on how steep of a drop it takes. Is it going to drop like the superhero movies, or is it going to be more of a traditional James Cameron movie and have longer legs? And so that's left to be seen. But for those of you who have seen it, I hope you've enjoyed it. 3 hours and something minutes, The Way of Water. We have a couple other movies coming out that probably won't dethrone Avatar, but on the 21st we have Puss in Boots: The Last Wish coming out to theaters. So get your animated kind of cutesy fun there. And on the 23rd, we have Babylon, which is probably one of those award winner seeking movies. We got Brad Pitt, Margot Robbie, lots of star power in this one. So if you want your star power, critically acclaimed kind of stuff, this is that kind of movie. So Babylon, I believe it's a fictitious Hollywood drama of some sort, like Hollywood fictitious history show. So check that out. And then another Oscar seeker on the 30th, Tom Hanks throws his hat in with a man called Otto. This is probably your curmudgeon of movies. You've got your old cranky grump man, and he is living his life. Obviously things have happened, and it's kind of about his, I don't know, coming to terms with things, I believe, from what I've seen. Tom Hanks will always do a good job with that. So we've got that to look forward to. On the 30th, A Man Called Otto. And yeah, without Nick here, what do I have to talk about? I just have to imagine what he'd tell me. But we're gonna move on to television. So we had the premiere of National Treasures on Disney Plus. No Nicolas Cage, and certainly, I don't know. Watched the first pilot episode, and it was okay. I don't think it has quite the weight of the National Treasure movies. It didn't seem like it had the stakes of those. Almost like it was playing second tier as far as content and what it was talking about. But for those of you who are looking for a good mystery and a little bit of action, this is certainly something to keep on your radar. Try it out. More on the action front and more on the spy espionage drama and all of that is we've got Jack Ryan Season 3 on Amazon on the 21st. So check out your Jack Ryan. That's been pretty solid. Season 3 on Amazon. And the one I'm looking forward to on the 25th is the Witcher spinoff Blood Origin on Netflix. And so that is definitely the one of those three that I'll be checking out and probably committing to the most. Is we've got that new Witcher series on the 25th. Other than that, I've been watching Willow. Willow continues to be good if you enjoyed the original movie. It's still very shocking to have this humor inlaid with the fantasy, because all of the fantasy stuff we've had for the last decade or so has really been very serious and very dark. And Willow is a mixed bag of that. It can be as dark as Game of Thrones. The last episode, actually the episode before last, they were killing people off left and right. So, not to spoil who or whatever, but yeah, it can get pretty dark. People don't expect anybody to survive this one. It could be any of the characters that they decide to do something with. But I'm enjoying the ride, and I'm here for all the dad jokes. I'm here for all that. Should be a good time. Other than that, haven't watched a whole lot of TV other than anime. But I'm going to go through with the anime and give you my best of. So if you're looking for uh, the anime that in this past year that you might have missed, then most people are giving the anime year of the award to the Cyberpunk 2077 Edge Runners, and it was good, but it was also very bloody, very edgy, and more, Fist of the North Star, Akira kind of level of anime, which I actually enjoyed the story enough to stick with it, even though it's not my favorite anime, so a lot of kudos to be said for that. But if you're looking for something a little less bloody, I've got some options for you here. My Dress Up Darling, which I've mentioned a couple of times, great rom-com. The first season was definitely excellent. Looking forward to season 2. Hope there's a season 2. I'm pretty sure that's already in production, but we'll see when it comes out. That one for rom-com, great anime, and I believe that one's on Crunchyroll. If you're looking for the one that I think most people on a critic level would give awards to, Akibi's Sailor Uniform. Great art, great story, lots of drama. So if you're looking for something that is both slice of life and has a little heavier drama weight to it, then that is definitely one for you right there. Akibi's Sailor Uniform. Both of those came out in the winter of last year, so they've been out for about a year. In the spring, we got the introduction of one that a lot of people are enjoying, because this one defies genre. It's all over the place. It is a little bit of everything. A little comedy, a little drama, just a little bit of everything. It's a spy movie. So Spy Family, that is definitely one to watch. It's cute, it's serious, it's got all kinds of things going on with it. So Spy Family, make you laugh, make you cry, that kind of thing. One that I loved, and it combines two of my least favorite genres, historical fiction and idol anime, and somehow makes it into something just beautiful, is Yaboy Kongming. And that's on High Dive. But if you don't have High Dive because it's the kind of second tier anime service, I suggest getting it just for this show. Yaboy Kongming, it's special. It's got something you won't see in a lot of other anime. Great story, great characters, combines two things that just shouldn't go together, and it works so well. So check out Yaboy Kongming. The dub just finished of that not long ago. The summer, we got that Cyberpunk 2077 Edge Runners. We also got Lycoris Recoil. And that one, it gave me Cowboy Bebop feels. So Cowboy Bebop is very, very special, but it's got a feel that doesn't exist in a lot of modern anime. And this one kind of got back to that. It's got the somewhat secret organizations thrown in with another layer of story, and the characters and stuff in the sci-fi is not the same. The place, the setting, the characters are very different, but it did give me that Cowboy Bebop feel. And so I think you should check that out, Lycoris Recoil, and that's on Crunchyroll. The last one I'm going to mention, and there's probably a couple of others that may make this list, but are either not quite finished from the fall, or the dub hasn't finished, and I haven't quite finished it myself, so I'll probably skip a few that I may mention later. But Uzaki-chan Wants to Hang Out Season 2, Part 2. And the reason I'm mentioning this one is because if you're looking for rom-coms, it is very difficult to find an anime that can make a Season 2 better than Season 1. And Season 2 for this manages to evolve the characters, add new characters, change the dynamic of the anime in such a way that you're getting something special, something different, and it grows. Too many rom-coms and other animes that have tried multiple seasons have just failed at being able to evolve the characters and have them grow in natural ways, but this one succeeds. So very happy about that, and it's still getting its dubs. It's a little more than halfway through, so check out Uzaki-chan. Wants to hang out if you're interested in a rom-com comedy, slice of life kind of thing. So we had the video game awards. The award winner was Elden Ring, which was not much of a surprise. It wasn't my top pick, and I'll give you my top pick. But Elden Ring was definitely special for the year. A lot of critics loved it. Players either loved it or hated it, or somewhere in between. I was in the somewhere in between category myself, and yeah, just not a surprise that Elden Ring got that. If you are into the get good kind of games, the Souls games, then this is definitely one to check out. If you're not into those, but you like fantasy exploration, you still should probably check it out, even though you may or may not like it. And so Elden Ring was the number one. I would have given it to, I played all 6. I would have given it to the new God of War Ragnarok. And that's mostly because the graphics were much better than many of the other games, except maybe Horizon. The story, well rehearsed, well scripted, well directed, very solid. And then everything about it was just felt very polished and high level. I can't really say that about the others. So even though the others shined in a lot of places, I just felt like God of War had everything that it should have to get that top award. And it won quite a few awards. I was really surprised that, given the number of awards that it got, that it didn't get the game of the year. But whatever. So that's the one I would suggest if you're looking at one of the big games of the year. The other honorable mentions were Stray, excellent game, very short though, about 5 hours, and it's you play as a cat, exploration kind of thing, solving some environmental puzzles. Cool stuff. The one that I spent the most time with, as far as what did I sink the most amount of my life into, would be Xenoblade Chronicles 3, which I would actually give the lowest ranking of the 6. Still a very good game. But I would like to see a little bit more polish in the graphics. I would have liked to have seen more solid voice acting. And but other than that, the game was really good. If you like a good JRPG, Xenoblade Chronicles 3, definitely something you should play and check out. The others, Horizon Forbidden West. Horizon keeps getting overshadowed by a lot of other things, even though it's a great series. The first one and the second one both are just very solid. If you like your open world explorations, you can't miss those. Check those out. And I am forgetting a couple here. Well, I'll be sure to go back and mention those later. Next episode, I'll try to remember to mention those. Other games that I played, I finished Dragon Quest Treasures. Dragon Quest Treasures was a pretty solid game. It was not great as far as Dragon Quest goes. I mean, it's a certain spin-off genre of game. Now, Dragon Quest Treasures, you had a lot of exploration, looking for treasure, a little bit of story, though. So the story is just kind of there to accompany the exploration, the going out and the finding the treasures, but it's there. I would like to seen more solid voice acting for the Dragon Quest Treasures. I would have liked to seen a little bit more effort put into that, because it could have been really special. It actually had the bones to be a really special, solid game. But I don't know if for budgetary reasons or what, but they just didn't make it into something that could be considered a mainline Dragon Quest game. So, but you'll have fun if you like exploration. One that people have been talking about, and I finally got around to playing, and it is a lot of fun. It is a very arcade, play for 30 minutes, and roguelike, and I don't normally like roguelikes, but I'll say this one kept me entertained a lot longer than I expected it to. Vampire Survivors. So it's definitely low budget, rogue-like repeat and rinse, and level up your characters as they die and stuff. It's fun. It's fun. You should try it out. Also played Lego Star Wars, the Skywalker Saga. That's been out for a little while now, and it is a lot of game. I mean, there is hundreds of hours you could lose to this thing to get all the collectibles and all the mini stuff and play all the mini games. And yeah, there is a lot to do here. Very massive in its scope and everything. I mean, not if you play just the straight storyline, you're basically watching all 9 movies. They don't cut a whole lot. It's got most of the major scenes. As a matter of fact, even just playing through the main stuff will take you just about the same amount of time as it would be to watch the movie. So not only do you have the 9 movies, you've just got a ton of side missions and content. So Lego Star Wars, the Skywalker Saga, very solid. You can find it now for around $40 usually, so it's a bit cheaper now, and I'd say it's a good time to pick it up if you're looking for something to play. Very platform, very shooter oriented, not very difficult. Got some flight simulation stuff in there too, so yeah, a lot of stuff to check out. What I'm going to be playing next week is I'm going to be playing Crisis Core, the Final Fantasy reunion game, and it is not a remake like Final Fantasy VII. And in Final Fantasy VII Remake, they changed the story around a bit. They made it interesting, not just with the new graphics and new overhaul, but they made it interesting in where they were taking the story from this point on. This is updated graphics, updated gameplay, but not updated story. It's pretty much going to still be the same story that leads up to Final Fantasy Remake. So I'll be checking that out, give you my thoughts on that. Evil West, a game that's a first-person shooter, came out not long ago, got some pretty good reviews, so I'll be checking that out. And then High on Life has been out. I want to start it pretty soon. It's on Game Pass, so everybody's been talking about it. Rick and Morty creators tied in with that, so it's got some good comedy apparently. So I'll be checking out those. Now, like I mentioned before, we have the Game Awards that came out almost 2 weeks ago now. And I just want to mention some of the stuff that we're looking forward to that came out. And they mentioned that Hades, great roguelike game. Hades 2 will be in early access coming this year in 2023. And a game called Judas. Now, one of my top 5 end game experiences happened in BioShock Infinite. The experience of living through that game it hits you very personally. And knowing and playing the other BioShocks, I just have a lot of faith that what they're going to do with Judas is going to give you that experience that you can't get just by playing a regular video game. So looking forward to Judas. It's supposedly coming out this next year, 2023. Looking forward to that. March 17th, we got a release date 3 months out for the new Star Wars Jedi Survivor. And the previous game was very good. Probably the best Star Wars that they put out from EA with the contract that they had with Star Wars before they opened everything up. So probably one of the best Star Wars games in the last 10 years is the previous one. So high hopes for this one being just as good. March 17th is the projected release date for that. We have a release date for the new Baldur's Gate 3, which has been in early access for a while, but now we have the official release of August of next year. It's going to be a great game. Just so looking forward to Baldur's Gate 3. Love the fantasy, love the Dungeons & Dragons franchise, so that will definitely be up my alley. Blue Protocol, which is also coming out in the second half of 2023. Another fantasy online RPG. Excited about that one. Looks gorgeous. Can't wait to play it. We've got one with a lot of stars called Crime Boss. Rock City. Chuck Norris, Danny Glover, Vanilla Ice, and Michael Rooker. Yeah, lots of cameos and stuff in this one. So Crime Boss, look forward to that one coming out March 28th. Don't have too long to wait for that one. Lords of the Fallen looks really good. If you're into the Elden Ring genre, it looks very similar. High graphics, high fidelity fantasy. So maybe have upscaled combat, maybe difficult. You know, try it out. You might like Lords of the Fallen. We got an announcement for Armored Core. Armored Core 4 by FromSoft. So another Souls-like possibly. And we'll see that possibly being released in next year. But we got the trailer for that one. And a lot of people are excited about Armored Core 4. Definitely a franchise that I've played the other games of. And it's been too long since they've had another release for that. We got some more footage. Final Fantasy 16 footage. And looks solid. It's going to be such a packed year next year. So many games coming out. And that's going to be in the middle of the year. We get Final Fantasy. And then also in the middle of the year, just a couple weeks difference, is Diablo 4. Man, I can't imagine people not jumping on Diablo 4 and wondering whether or not they have time to play Final Fantasy, because 2 weeks to finish Diablo 4 seems like a very short amount of time. So we'll see if Diablo 4 cuts into those Final Fantasy numbers. And that's all the big news for video games. We have not really much coming up in the next couple weeks as far as new releases. The next release that is coming out that I'll probably pick up to play is the One Piece Odyssey, the One Piece RPG game. But that's not coming out until 3 weeks from now, middle of January. So you'll get to hear my thoughts on that one in about a month from now after I've played it. If you haven't been, keep checking Epic Games for their free PC releases if you've got a PC to play games on, because Epic Games has been doing a lot of free content during the holiday season. So make sure you check that out. Some good stuff coming there. And that is the majority of stuff. I wanted to give you guys an update for OGGR. Make sure that you were getting your content. We will continue to give you content, whether it is on our regular Thursday big production episodes. Obviously, we miss Nick. The banter between the two of us, I miss that, and I want to have more of that, and we're going to. But we do want to make sure that you get your content, and even if it's going to be in smaller segments like this one, even if it's going to be in short daily segments, we're going to get the news to you. So as always, be good to each other, and have a wonderful day.